Hey Browns fans, coming with the latest updates straight to you. Hit that like button and let's get right to it. Now, let's talk about what's going on with the team as we approach a crucial stretch of the season. We just got some news about the newly updated strength of schedule for the Browns, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, things are looking tough. Cleveland is 1-3, and while we're all hoping for a turnaround, this next stretch could be a serious challenge. Between now and our bye week in Week 10, we officially have the toughest remaining schedule of all 32 teams in the NFL. And that's not exactly the news we wanted to hear, right? Here's what we're up against. The 3-1 Washington Commanders are up next, and then we have divisional matchups against the Bengals and Ravens, teams that are ahead of us in the AFC North standings. If that wasn't enough, the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals all have much easier schedules compared to ours, meaning they could easily widen the gap before we even get to our bye. Not exactly ideal, especially considering how critical it is to maintain momentum in this division. But wait, at least there's some good news on the injury front. Star running back Nick Chubb and tight end David Njoku both participated in practice this week ahead of our game against Washington. It's great to see Chubb back in action, even if he's not 100% yet. We all know what he brings to the table. His ability to run the ball could really open up some new opportunities for Deshaun Watson, who has struggled to find consistency. And with Njoku back as well, Watson will have another reliable target downfield. But even with those weapons returning, the real issue we're facing is a shaky offensive line. That O-line has been a problem all season, and unfortunately, we haven't gotten the best injury news there. Jedrick Wills Jr. and Jack Conklin did not practice on Wednesday, which means our line will likely still be banged up heading into these critical games. And if we can't protect Watson or create running lanes for Chubb, it's going to be tough to make any serious progress. Now, let's talk about our chances. Realistically, the Ravens are in a different league right now. They have depth, talent, and consistency on both sides of the ball, so it's going to be an uphill battle when we face them. But there is some hope when it comes to our matchup against the Bengals. Cincinnati's defense has given up an average of 326.8 yards per game this season, and they rank 25th in the league when it comes to stopping the run, allowing 145.5 yards per game. If Chubb is back and close to full strength, we could exploit that and put up some serious numbers against them in Week 7. It won't be easy, but if we can stay healthy, especially on offense, there's a chance we can beat the Bengals and at least keep ourselves in the running in the AFC North. This stretch is critical, and it will depend on whether our offensive line can hold up and give Watson, Chubb, and Njoku the space they need to make plays. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Can we bounce back from this brutal schedule and pull off some surprises, or are the odds stacked too heavily against us this time around? Nick Chubb is officially taking steps toward his return. That's right, after suffering back-to-back losses, the Browns finally have something positive to celebrate. On Wednesday, the team announced that Nick Chubb, along with Nyheim Hines and offensive guard Michael Dunn, have been designated to return to practice. This means that Chubb is now one step closer to making his long-awaited 2024 regular season debut. For all of us diehard Browns fans, this is exactly the kind of spark we've been needing. Now, here's how it works. The Browns have 21 days to activate Chubb, which should give him more than enough time to get back to full strength. For those of you who don't remember, Chubb was placed on the reserve/PUP list in late August after missing training camp while recovering from that devastating knee injury he suffered in Week 2 of last season. It was tough watching our star running back go down like that, but after undergoing 2 surgeries last year, Chubb's return is closer than ever. Cleveland.com's Mary Kay Cabot even reported that Chubb was seen at practice on Wednesday, and let's be honest, that's the best news we've heard in weeks. But with Chubb still out of action for the past few games, we've had to rely on Jerome Ford and Dante Foreman to carry the offensive load. Ford has done a solid job, posting 203 rushing yards and a touchdown on 39 carries, while Foreman hasn't had as much success, with just 49 yards on 20 carries. Looking ahead, the next few games will be tough. We're facing the Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles, and Cincinnati Bengals, and while Chubb is back in practice, don't expect him to play against the Commanders this week. He's still working off the rust after not playing since last September, so it's going to take some time for him to get back to his usual elite form. But Browns fans, what do you think? When Nick Chubb is back on the field, do you expect him to make an immediate impact, or should we keep our expectations tempered as he returns to the game? At 1-3 after the first 4 weeks of the 2024 season, Deshaun Watson knows the Browns have work to do if they want to start racking up wins. On Wednesday, Watson opened up to the media, giving us an honest look at the current state of the offense, the potential return of some key players, and his role as a leader on this team. Njoku, who suffered an ankle injury after Week 1, has not played since. He made the Pro Bowl last season and was a key part of the offense, throwing for 882 yards and 6 touchdowns. While guys like Jordan Akins and Blake Whiteheart have stepped up, Watson is eager to see Njoku return to action. I think he's a big part of this system. It would be nice to have him back, Watson said. But let's be real for a second, Browns fans. The return of Chubb and Njoku won't fix everything overnight. The Browns have struggled with penalties, and those mistakes are killing our offense. In fact, we're one of the most penalized teams in the league, averaging 8.5 penalties per game. In the loss to the Raiders, we saw an 82-yard touchdown pass to Amari Cooper called back because of a holding penalty on Nick Harris. Oh, right? Watson didn't shy away from addressing these issues. He said, the most important thing is we have to fix the little mistakes that are costing us the opportunity to make big plays and win games. And he's right. Right now, we're averaging just 3.2 yards per first down play, the lowest in the NFL. That's not a stat we want to see. Combine that with a third down conversion rate of just 20.75%, and it's clear there's work to be done. But Watson is confident that cleaning up those early down mistakes will lead to better results on third down. He explained it perfectly. Third down percentages start with first and second downs. We have to get ourselves manageable for third downs before we can talk about it. Now, let's talk about something that caught a lot of people's attention during Sunday's game against the Raiders. Some of you may have noticed Watson talking to LT DeJuan Jones after Jones allowed a hit on him from DE Tyree Wilson. Watson was quick to downplay the situation, saying it was just part of the brotherhood that comes with being teammates. That's what family does, Watson said. We can go back and forth, but at the end of the day, we talk about it, we love each other, and we move forward. That kind of leadership is something head coach Kevin Stefanski has emphasized, and Watson is making sure he's there to correct things when needed. I've always been vocal, he said. If I need to correct something, then I'll correct it. So where does that leave us Browns fans? We have a tough month ahead with road games against the Commanders and Eagles, and then we face our division rivals, the Bengals and Ravens, at home. Watson is focused on taking things one step at a time, starting with this week's win in practice. What do you think, Browns fans? Do you think the return of Chubb and Njoku will be the spark this offense needs to turn things around? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest Browns news. Go Browns!